All right, so this is part 2 of how to make a t-shirt quilt. So what you should already have done is cut up your t-shirt, and so now it doesn't have a back or sleeves or a neck or a bottom, and we have that all around. We've got lots of our t-shirts, and so that was your first step. For the second step, you need a couple things. One, you need an ironing board, you need an iron, you need your pair of scissors that you used before, and you need this, which is fusible stabilizer. And you know it by the pink label that you will find at, I usually get it at Joann's. So when you go out to buy this, get it on one of these rolls. It will be cheaper that way. You need to get quite a bit. So if you plan on making another t-shirt quilt, just get more than you think you need and you can use it for the next one. And so, like I said, look for the pink label, and that's stabilizer. And the reason you need stabilizer is because t-shirts are stretchy. And if you don't put the stabilizer on, when you start sewing things together, it will stretch too much. And so what the stabilizer does is it will make it so that the entire back will be very straight. It makes it so that it doesn't stretch. So you need the stabilizer. So the first thing that I like to do, now I have some of these small pieces. These came from sleeves. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it on here, and I'm going to make it kind of big. I don't yet know exactly what the size of all of my pieces are going to be. So for the most part, I'm just going to make this a whole lot bigger, and I'm going to do it with a pile. So I'm going to get all of my pieces together and put them on a pile so that I can iron them later. So here I have a larger piece. Right. This one is too tall. This piece is too tall for my stabilizer. So I'm simply going to cut it up and down this way and do a piece right across here. And I'm going to do that with all of my t-shirts. And then when I get them all done, I will then start to iron. Now, when you do get to ironing, and I'll show it on a small piece, you lay it out this way. You have your colorful thing t-shirt, it goes face down. Now your stabilizer has two different sides to it. One is flat, the other side has dots, and you can feel the dots if you feel it. One is a little bit rougher, this side is a little smoother. The dots go down. I'm going to make sure that the dots go down, because that is the glue, and it will glue itself onto your t-shirt. The next thing you want is an old sheet. The old sheet is because you don't want, just in case anything happens, you don't want this stuff on your iron. So you take an old sheet and you place it down. You take your iron and you iron this down. Now you always have to make sure that your picture or whatever it is that's on the front of your t-shirt or back of your t-shirt is face down, because if you iron that, then all of the color and all of that stuff ends up getting off. Now, the iron obviously needs to be hotter, so we're going to make it a little bit hotter and try this again. What we want to make sure is that the glue is melting and it gets onto the t-shirt. And once you do that with every one of your t-shirts until they all have stabilizer on the back. Now I have this up pretty high. This is on the cotton setting. That's another reason why I want to make sure that that I have a sheet there, because I wouldn't want this to melt. Now notice, this is, if I pull it, it's going to pull off. Right now, it is stuck. And that's what we want. And later we'll trim this to the right size, but that is the second step, putting stabilizer on the back.